Okay, today's topic is environment, endangered animals and plants. Yes? Okay. What
Yes.
is endangered species? What does it mean? What are they?
Endangered
Can you give some example
species,
for? Mm-hmm.
um, endangered plants and animals
Mm-hmm.
are the species of plants and animals which are considered under the threat of extinction or disappearing fast from the ecosystem.
Yes. So.
And I can say that the definition which endangered words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, endangered a species of plants or animal
Mm-hmm.
that is in immediate danger of becoming extinct and needs protection to survive.
Yes. Okay. Why save endangered species? Why should we save endangered species?
Uh, for example, medical treatments only they can do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for example, dolphins.
Yes.
Dolphins measure every person measures uh, higher blood
Mm-hmm.
temperature.
Yes, maybe. Mm-hmm.
And,
Very good example. What about agricultural help for farmers?
agri- um, uh, for example, farmers for farmers useful for
Mm-hmm.
mm,
For what? Okay. What about ecological help? It is very useful for ecology. Can you give some example for this statement?
ecological.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, for this, I have not enough
Idea.
information about it.
Shahnoza, can you hear me? Can you give some
Yeah,
example for agricultural help or ecological? Mm-hmm.
for healthy. Ecological for healthy environments.
Uh-huh.
Is it
Ecological. Okay. There are some causes of endangerment. Yes. Okay. So, Shahsta, can you explain over exploitation?
For exploitation, overuse of species, that is one of the worst things to do to an animal. And
Okay.
others like pollution and diseases. As you can see, animals don't have an easy life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, animals across to uh,
Maybe
to
hunting. What is hunting?
yes hunting
Hunting can
avlanmak.
be, yes, it is avlamak. Hunting can be one example for the for the causes of endangerment. Yes, for example,
Yes,
the hunters will hunt, kill some animals, endangered animals like bears or some uh, types of wolves or some birds. Yes, uh, they
yes.
they they. Uh, it is very enjoyable. They enjoy by hunting, and but they do not think about animals. So, mhm. Can you continue about the causes of endangerment? What about
For
malnutrition?
example, in the
Okay, Shahnaz, you
in
can
the
continue.
forest, uh, in the forest, uh, um, usually fire and in the forest, when forest fire,
Mm-hmm.
all the things in it,
Will die. Yes.
animals,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And
will die.
The
people
environment.
people distract, for example, wildlife
Yeah.
and cut down trees to make furniture
Yes.
for their lifestyle, for
For
example.
their own sake, the human being can uh, destroy the forests, the endangered plants, and in order to uh, maybe the
Yes, people
wild,
can.
yes, mhm, wild
uh,
animals can scare the people while doing something in forest or in mountains, and they have to kill the animal. Yes.
Yes, people
Yeah,
and so people can't live without trees and
Yes.
plants because they fill air with oxygen, for
Yeah.
example.
Yes, that's correct. So, what to do about endangered species? What should we do?
Um, here, I would say that we need to help endangered species. Here are some ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, preserve habitats, one of the most important because there are species which can't live without being in the certain place.
Mm-hmm.
And also reduce, reuse, and recycle. One of the ways to don't waste garbage and don't kill the environment. And others like join organization,
And
plant, and
plant.
so on.
Uh-huh. So, we should preserve the habitats in order to protect the endangered species, and we should reduce, reuse, recycle, and we have to um, join some organizations. For example, which organizations do you know about in protecting the endangered species or the plants? Do you know any international organizations, for example? For example, RLC in the control of in what? Which organization? UNESCO, yes?
RLC, yes, UNESCO.
UNESCO.
Uh,
For example, World Health Organization, UNESCO, what else? Some branches of UNESCO. Do you know the branches of UNESCO? Some uh, they are referring to the protection of the environment.
mm,
Have you heard about any organization in Uzbekistan, for example? Do you know them? Maybe you can talk about them in Uzbek if you know. If it's explaining is difficult for you now. Okay, let's talk about all the endangered species. Yes. So can you give some examples for this kind of endangered species for animals?
uh, Arctic and Antarctic, for
Antarctic.
example, killer
So they will live
Antarctic.
in Arctic and Antarctic. Yes, is it true?
Yes,
Mm-hmm. What are they?
yes, killer
Mhm.
penguin, peregrine falcon, polar bear, walrus, whale, wolf.
Okay. Are they wild animals or not? Wild animals?
Uh, no,
No. Maybe
no,
some of them are
yeah,
wild.
Yeah.
wolf. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there, there is.
Killer whale also can be wild animal. And all the endangered species. So in Africa, there are so many endangered species because there are very huge desert in Africa. Yes, it's covered with desert, and the climate is very hot in Africa. Yes, and
Yes,
Yeah.
people, their culture, their living, their life is different. That's why most people tend to hunt some animals like endangered species. For example, wolf, zebra, and elephant, dolphins, cheetah, chimpanzee, bats, elephant, giraffe, lemur, leopard, lion. All of them are wild animals. Animals, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
and they are endangered species. When you go to zoo, you will see these types of animals. For example, cheetah and elephant, giraffe, leopard, lion, snakes. The different snakes. Some types of snakes can be endangered species. Not all of them. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Mhm. In Australia, there are bats, dolphins, kangaroo, killer whale, koala, uh, peregrine falcon, and snakes, whale, wolf. So not all of these animals are endangered, but it is about their types. Yes.
yes,
Okay. In Asia, bats, clothed leopard, dolphins, rhinoceros, sea otter, snakes, tortoise. But in Europe, they are snakes, whale, wolf, bats. So you can see the same animals in different countries. Yes, in
Yeah.
different areas of the world, but it is not about that animal, but it's the kind of animal. There are some types of these animals can be endangered species. Okay, can you talk about the uh, numbers of the endangered species? Can you explain these numbers? Yes.
Endangered species.
Mm-hmm.
There are their numbers have been reduced to a critical level, pushing them to near extinction.
Mm-hmm.
And 81 species of mammalians,
Mm-hmm.
38 species of birds, 80 species of amphibians in water. Reptiles are identified as endangered species in India. Some of them are Nilgiri langur, clouded leopard, snow leopard, wolf, Himalayan brown bear, red panda, Asian deaf elephant.
Yes. Okay, Shahnaza, can you cite some examples for the number of endangered animals in Uzbekistan?
Uzbekistan.
What kind of animals, endangered species in Uzbekistan? For example, can you define them? Can you give some example for this in Uzbekistan? Mostly, they are mostly wild animals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For example.
For example, I don't know exactly what type of the fish, but some of them are endangered
Yes.
species.
Fox, maybe, yes. Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Some types of snakes can be endangered. They are considered endangered species in Uzbekistan. Now we are going to watch a video about endangered species, and we will discuss the further details after watching this video. Is it visible for you now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start.
You can probably name quite a few endangered species. Polar bear, blue whale, and black rhino are just a few. But there are many more that don't get so much attention. There are currently around 16,500 animals and plants that are endangered. An endangered species is one that is at a high risk of becoming extinct, which is when there are no longer any members of that species alive. Lots of species are going extinct every single day. Sometimes this is because of natural causes. Extinction is part of evolution after all. Many more because of human activity. In fact, because of humans, the rate of extinction is estimated to be 1,000 to 10,000 times higher than what would occur naturally. This is the highest rate since the extinction of the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Conservation is the act of protecting species against becoming endangered. It's all about preserving biodiversity. If you want to learn more about biodiversity and why it matters, watch this video. You might wonder why it's such a big deal. Why does it matter if the population of a species decreases so much that it is endangered? Surely, if there are a few individuals, such as those in zoos, then a species can recover. The problem is that the key to having a healthy population is genetic variation. Within a population, you need a large variety of different characteristics so that a species can adapt if there is a change in the environment and avoid becoming extinct. This can happen if all the members of the species have similar genes. Also, in a small population, there is a high chance of inbreeding, where closely related individuals breed. This can increase the risk of offspring having inherited conditions. So large wild populations are important for a species' survival. There are many reasons why a species might become endangered. It can happen because of habitat destruction, climate change, overfishing or hunting, and the introduction of invasive species to habitats which outcompete the native ones. We have an ethical duty to help preserve all the species on Earth, and this is done by carrying out conservation. Let's look at a few methods used. Firstly, endangered animals can be housed in wildlife parks. This protects them. And also captive breeding programs can be used to increase their numbers. They help educate people about conservation and how we can all help protect endangered species. They also help the general public to form an emotional connection to these endangered species. However, there are disadvantages to animals in captivity. The animals do not lead a normal life, and there is risk of inbreeding. A way of protecting animals in their natural habitat is by creating protected areas like national parks. Trees cannot be cut down, roads and houses can't be built, and hunting of the animals is illegal. Rangers are employed to make sure this is enforced. It's not just animals. Plants are also at risk. An amazing 70% of plant species are endangered, so it's vital that we help protect them too. As well as using protected areas, plants that are endangered are preserved by collecting seeds and storing them in seed banks. If a plant does become extinct, the seeds can be grown to restore their populations. To recap, an endangered species is one that is at risk from extinction, the main causes of which are human activities. Protecting vulnerable species is called conservation, and there are many methods to do so, including wildlife parks and protected areas.
If you like the video, give it a...
Okay, what is deforestation, girls? What is deforestation? What is that? Deforestation.
Deforestation is cutting the trees in the forest and something like this.
Yes, that's true. Okay, what kind of information you gathered from the video? Can you share it? For protecting the endangered species and the effects of the endangered species or the causes, what can be cause for and then extinction of the animals or plants.
In order to protect the animals, we make the zoos in wild places, and if we do that, we also save some kind of plants and
Okay. Can you share your opinion, Shahsta?
Our ecology becomes worse and worse with every new day. Many species of animals and birds are disappearing nowadays.
Because of pollution, deforestation, hunting, yes, all of them can be the reason.
Overfishing. Also, people depend on their planet, the sun, animals and plants around them. Environment is everything in the world around us that surround and affects all life on Earth, including the air, food, water, plants, animals, and other.
Okay, yes.
And I can say that the example, the polar bear is the first animal that has been classified as endangered due to global warming.
Yes, because they live in.
Polar bear are
Uh-huh.
um,
Where do this kind of bears live?
polar bears.
And polar bears.
It